people that are going to talk to you tonight. Okay, so my name is Heath Foley. I teach in the network administration program. We will have AJ Arsenault speaking, who also teaches in NA. We're going to have Jason Brown speaking, who works and teaches in network support. We're going to have Jay Rahman. Jay is involved in our quality assurance testing. Okay, and finally, we're going to have Fraser Morehouse. Now, Fraser is involved in our cybersecurity program. Okay, Jason's going to drive the PowerPoint. We're all going to talk a little bit to you. Should be some time at the end for some question and answers. Okay, feel free to use the chat, but please keep your mics muted, your webcams off for now. But if you think of something, throw it in the chat, right? Because we don't want to miss anything. All right. So let's get going. I'm going to get Jason to advance the slide for me, please. So College Preview Day. Welcome to the School of Information Technology. Okay. You're going to see some hyperlinks in here, which aren't really going to mean much to you unless I paste them into the chat. So as we go along, what I might do is paste it in the chat so you can follow along, okay? So the first hyperlink at the top talks about the different courses that we offer, okay? So if you're here, you're obviously interested in network administration, network support, cybersecurity, or software quality assurance. Now, this is all part of our what they call our live program. So live is learning integrated virtually everywhere, which basically means that you're using your computers a lot for what you do, right? Live programs do have a minimum set of requirements for hardware, okay? You can't use something like a Chromebook. You have to use a PC, a laptop. Generally speaking, the specifications do change a little bit from year to year. There is a link here, which I will post into the chat, just 1 second, with the current requirements. And basically it states that, you know, for the live programs, you're going to want to have a minimum of an 8th gen Intel i5 CPU running Windows 10, okay? I would recommend Windows 10 Pro over the Home Edition. 16 gigs of RAM, at least a 1 terabyte hard drive, preferably actually an SSD. SSDs are a lot faster. Obviously, you're going to need Wi-Fi, but here's a consideration to think about. A lot of the newer laptops only have Wi-Fi, and they don't have an RJ45 or an Ethernet plug. So if that's the case, you definitely want to pick up an RJ45 to USB adapter so you can plug in, because you are required to plug your computer in for a lot of the things, okay? You can't just use Wi-Fi. Webcams. A lot of the students tend to go out and buy gaming computers because, you know, they have a lot of the high-end specs that you want, right? Problem with some of them is that they don't have webcams. So make sure your computer has a good quality webcam, preferably something at least, you know, at least 720p quality webcam, because you're going to be doing a lot of stuff with your webcam. Also make sure if you have a webcam that it's functioning properly, the microphone is working properly, because you're going to be using that quite a bit, okay? In terms of what else we are doing, there's Brightspace. So Brightspace is our LMS, or learning management system. It's what we use to deliver a lot of our courses. So the courses are kind of twofold, like we do a portion in class, but we do a lot of things online with Brightspace. Brightspace is a very, very cool program. You will love it. It's web-based. There's options for using it with a tablet as well, okay? But we do recommend using your computers. As far as software, when you get set up, you'll be working with our IT department to give you the proper access to get the software you need. So, you know, you'll be provided the software you required, like Office, things like that. If you're doing anything for programming, what's Fraser saying? Yeah, Soft Ether. So we use a product called Soft Ether VPN. That allows us to VPN into our network at the school, at the college, and actually access resources on the local network. Okay. As far as Mac computers go, if you decide that you love Macs and you need to use a Mac, you will have to use Boot Camp. Okay, so Boot Camp is just a way of being able to boot up into the Windows environment. Okay, you can't use something like Parallels; it has to be Boot Camp, right? Important dates. So as you can see in the link in the bottom here, there actually is an academic calendar which has a lot of important dates. It's a PDF file that's generally kept very up to date. I'm going to post that in the chat for you. Okay, so let's move on to slide 3, Jason, please. So in terms of support, okay, and if somebody call out, if I need to stop and we need to go through something, a question in the chat, I don't want to get ahead of things. So what we do to support the students, okay, there's a lot of links here. Obviously, I'm not going to click every link and show you, but we offer career counseling and well-being services, okay? Array of services for counseling and design. You know, it's best if you feel like you might have some questions or concerns to connect with our counseling services early on. Library services. So we offer an internal library called the NBCC Library Commons. The Library Commons you will get access to through Brightspace. It's very, very, very awesome resource. I can't say enough about it. You know, accesses to a lot of things, read books, resources that you would otherwise not be able to get access to. Accessibility services for accommodations or peer tutoring. Okay, so if you do have any accommodations, there are links you can use through the services for accommodations and for peer tutoring if you require extra help. Okay, we offer the Indigenous Student Advisor. If there's any problems or issues that come up, or if you have any questions, you can reach out to those people. Tutoring support and learning circles. Support groups for LGBTQA, international students, newcomer and mature students. A lot of people have questions coming in, especially if you're a mature student, you're coming in and you haven't done school for a while, right? You can reach out to these people and ask for some help. And connections to community resources. So these are all things that you can reach out for if you need any help, okay? I'm just reading the chat here, sorry. Yeah, here, I'll post it right into the chat so you can see the actual live program requirements.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll handle those. If you want to just keep going, I'll field any questions if they need answers to.
Awesome. Thanks, Fraser. Okay, I'll get Jason to flip over to the next slide if you don't mind. So in terms of what to expect when you're getting set up, okay, it's important that you check your email often, okay? IT is going to be reaching out to you a lot with things about setting up accounts. Two-factor authentication. So you're gonna have to set up two-factor authentication for your phone. There's a lot of things that you'll have to work with in terms of admissions, scholarships, and registration. Student self-service is a web-based portal that we use for the students to go in and work, and you can basically see things like your, help me out, Fraser, what am I looking for here? You can see things like your grades.
Oh,
and,
in Sims or in Brightspace?
In Sims, yeah, I'm not used to what the students see in Sims.
Your calendar as well, you can see.
Yep, your calendar's there as well as your transcript. So if you need to print off your transcript or anything like that, that's generally in there.
Okay, thank you. Learning management system, Brightspace. This will tie in with your. You'll be setting up an email address, okay, through the college, and this will tie in with the LMS with Brightspace, okay. Classes begin day one, right? Have your textbooks ready. So the list for textbooks will could and may change before September. So again, keep an eye out for emails or posts or notifications. You do want to make sure that you have your textbooks ready. Certain occasions you might not use a physical text. There might be an e-text option available or an e-book, some other option, okay? Instruction and work time. Block out the time, right? I guess the thing I can really recommend is use your technology to your advantage. So plan your time. If you do have a part-time job, just make sure to put things in your calendar, right? Keep things up to date. Textbooks, like I mentioned, try to get comfortable at home. Like if you're doing a lot of stuff from home, try to set up a good workspace. So a good workspace would be somewhere in your house or your apartment that's fairly quiet, where you can concentrate and focus. It definitely helps to have a second monitor off to the side. Okay, if you can afford to get one, I do recommend having a second screen. It can make a big difference versus having to use one screen on your laptop. Combining reading and recording lectures, live lectures, and practical exercises. So a lot of what we do in the online environment it could be a combination of things. It could be a pre-recorded lecture, it could be a live lecture or a demonstration, it could be a lab. But conversely, there will be times when you'll be coming into the college as well and doing a lot of hands-on practical stuff, okay? In terms of the jargon, okay, and the way things work. So I'm an instructor, and we have other instructors that we work with called coordinating instructors. And the coordinating instructor also teaches like we do, but they're kind of the go-between between the students and between us. So they do a lot of extra administrative work to help the students and to actually help us as the instructors, okay? So we use a lot of terminology that might seem a little weird at first, a little strange, but CI is a coordinating instructor, and you will most likely work with CIs for changes in enrollment, problems dealing with credits, or if you have any course prerequisites, questions like that, okay? So make sure that you connect with your CI, okay? It will be communicated who your CI is. Stay focused, try to keep up with your assignments. It's probably going to take you a little while to get into the swing of being back in school or being a mature student, but try to keep up, right? But make sure to keep the communication lines open. If you are having any problems or struggles with the assignments or not meeting due dates or deadlines, make sure you let your instructor know. Reach out to us, okay? We're here for you, and communication is probably one of the most important things. I would say it's paramount. Excuse me. You get dry talking. Proactively ask for help. If you need help, work with your instructors, work with some of those links I mentioned earlier, right? You can get peer tutoring. There's TutorMe. TutorMe is an option that's available through Brightspace. Make sure to attend classes. Check your Brightspace calendar so you know when you have to be, where you have to be, at what time, right? And it'll get easier as you come along. Make sure you understand the grading criteria. Okay, so the way the courses work is generally the instructor will have a course outline, and the course outline will dictate a lot of the top level things of the course. One of the very top level things that they mentioned is the grading criteria. What does it take to pass the course? Okay, that's going to be mentioned. Finally, have fun, right? We teach because we really enjoy teaching. We love it, and we want to inspire you and make sure that that you enjoy this new step in your life. Anyway, that's all I have. So I'm going to pass it off now to AJ.
Okay, here I am. Hi, everyone. This is a little bit of a program profile overview for you. If you look, you can see that network support is just a one-year program, but if you continue on, you'll have your full network administration certificate. From there, should you want to continue, like most people are happy within the certificate, but some people want to continue on, and they will take programs that are provided by NBCC, such as cybersecurity, data analytics, or they may want to go on and do a bachelor degree. We do have agreements with a number of universities, and you can continue in a Bachelor of Technology at Dalhousie. You can get a Bachelor of Applied Management at UMBSJ, or a Bachelor of International Studies at St. Stephen University. So there are many options for you if you want to continue on after you get your certificate. Next slide. So here is what you might see next year for year one. It is subject to minor changes, of course, as we sort of iron things out. You can see that we not only provide you with the technical training you'll need to succeed in the workforce, but we even provide courses in communications. And my personal favorite course for the students is employment strategies, because that's the job that helps you seek employment and be successful in getting the career that you want. Next slide. Okay, no, I just want you to note as you're looking at this, you're seeing all of the numbers going up, like Linux 1, Linux 2, Network 3, 4, it continues like that, and there are some that are sort of standalone. You have to pass your prerequisites to go on to the next course. Also, you must successfully pass all of your courses to graduate. And if you have received like 50% or greater in your course and you're just under the 60% mark, you can ask for a supplemental exam. And you will be offered one if you have completed all of your assignments and received that grade of 50% or higher. So you have to check your grading criteria and all of your assignments to be welcome to take that. So next slide. Here are some of the employment opportunities that are going to be available to you. And this, I say some of them because there are probably things that we have left out here, but this is generally what most people go into. And myself, I have worked as help desk, desk side support analyst. So the top two, probably the fourth one was more professional services. Officially, I was a systems admin and network admin, and I did network security and support. So I've had a lot of those jobs over the years. I worked at Nortel and Genesis, and some of you may not remember Nortel. It was a while ago now, but you may, like, you're going to find your niche and you're going to find what you love. And for me, it was doing things based in Linux. So that led me to all of those different types of careers. And I'm excited to see what all of you are going to do. So, and here's the next page, please. Next. Okay, here are some of our employers. Again, this is not all of the employers. Like, there are so many people that are going to different employers this year alone that I've heard of, but these are just ones that are primarily in the St. John area. Canadian Forces, I think some of those would be in Gagetown, and of course you can go to different places, but a lot of these places are right here in St. John, and you're going to be possibly doing little work terms with them as well, if available. So it's really amazing the amount of support that we've been getting from employers. Like, I actually bring them in for practice interviews, so you can do your practice job interview and learn how to interview with somebody who is going to potentially be hiring you if you're doing a work term or going into the workforce. So it's a great way to get to know people. And then I think I'm passing it on now. And I don't know to whom.
It's Fraser.
Hi, Fraser.
That would be to me. So my name is Fraser Morehouse. I am the network security teacher for the cybersecurity program. I worked at Bell Canada for about 14 years or so, between Bell Line to local ISP here and Bell Canada, working on every major network there is in Atlantic Canada. Basically, I'm also a CCIE, so I do know a little bit about networking. Every once in a while, they tell me that anyway. Cybersecurity course is a one-year postgrad that we have here at NBCC. it's created in collaboration with governments, educational institutes, industry partners. So we partner and we get feedback from our partners and are constantly tweaking our delivery to match what's needed in the cybersecurity world today. You want to move ahead? Next slide. So our courses are broken up into 14 weeks. We have a fall term, a winter term, and a spring term. The fall term is your basics, your intro, simply because we do an intro in a lot of different classes. We do a lot of different type of theory courses as well, like risk management and cybersecurity concepts. So it's not all just hands-on, but everything from your introduction to Windows systems, network security, endpoint security, ethical hacking, those are all hands-on practical skills that we teach. The winter term, things get a little bit more intense. We have advanced operating systems, and we get the advanced version of most of our setups. And we have our enterprise security products. We do human-centric security, so we learn a little bit about how we secure humans, as well as a little bit about how we do phishing and things like that. And then we have legal and compliance, legal and ethics as well. The spring term really is probably the funnest term of the year. This is our red team, blue team exercise. It is a capture the flag contest that matches teams of students against each other, and the winner gets to take home the illustrious Lappy, our laptop that is our mascot for cybersecurity. It is a great learning experience. The students always learn new things when they go and do this capstone exercise, because we encapsulate some things that you have learned over the year, as well as other things that you haven't learned and you have to figure out. So it's definitely a fun part for both the students and for the teachers themselves. I'm going to go to the next slide. So our cybersecurity program is based around the NICE framework in the US, as well as the Cyber Curriculum Guide in Canada. We try to align to these 4 types of roles, so defense analyst, infrastructure support, incident response, and vulnerability assessment and management. In Canada, that would be a defense operator, security operator, incident handler, and vulnerability and assessment security assessment. So we try to align with those types so that there's an industry standard that you guys can look for and say that we did our training to meet these requirements. All right, next slide. So here is one of the tools we use. We use IBM QRadar. It's a product actually based out of New Brunswick itself here. It was started in St. John with Q1 Labs, which were eventually bought up by IBM and is now IBM's QRadar. And this is what we call a SIEM, or Security Incident and Event Management. This is the brains of modern IT when it comes to security. This is where all of your log traffic is going, all of your analysis for your network is being done, and this is where you would be launching your incident response tickets from. We want to go on to the next slide. Here we have the security onion. This is another SIEM, just another version of a SIEM, but we do go over those as well, just to give you guys a little bit of overview of what's a little different than the other ones, so that you can say that you have tried and worked with different types of SIEMs. And our last slide, I think, got one more. So our cybersecurity job prospects, they are in demand. 3.5 million vacant positions worldwide by 2021. Your average salary for cybersecurity professional was $97,000. That does not mean you'll get that right out of the gate, just so you know. That's for an experienced cybersecurity person with a lot of years under their belt, as they say. And next, I think we are done. All right, quality assurance, it's up to Jay.
Thanks, Fraser.
Good evening, everyone. So my full name is Jahidur Rahman. Everyone calls me Jay. It's much easier, right? I am from Moncton. I teach in quality assurance. My undergrad from UNB, and I did work in quality assurance for quite a long time in a few different companies. So in quality assurance, if you go to the next slide, please. What is software quality assurance? Before I go over the PowerPoint, I'll say anyone who has a brain to pick on something or look in depth, you are good for quality assurance. We always ask question. We like to break things. We are the number one enemy of the developers. Most of the time they are saying that. However, we are the best friend of them as well. So we are the last line of defense for any software that goes to the users. So think of all the things you use in a day that require software or technology such as ATM, cell phone, laptop, online shopping sites, video games, everything has a software. And to make sure that softwares are working perfectly, we need quality assurance analysts. Software quality assurance is checking the software in comparison to how it is expected to work. So if let's say someone just updated a software for ATM and they just put it without doing any quality assurance checking, what's going to happen? It suddenly started throwing out the cash from it. It's not going to be very good, right? Well, it's going to be good for the passerbys. So we are here for checking out those type of scenarios. Next, please. So software quality assurance testing. Software quality assurance testing is a fast growing and reputable profession. Software testers are in demand in our local region, which has many software producing companies. In fact, several local companies are primarily testing only, companies that offer the service to many large companies, including lottery industry. So actually, the companies I worked with, my first job is a company that offers the service to other companies. And the second one I work with is actually a lottery company. So you have a really good future in software testing in New Brunswick, because a lot of companies are coming to New Brunswick. There's a lot of startups and a lot of well-known companies are already established their base in Fredericton, St. John, and Moncton, and everyone needs quality assurance people to check the quality of their softwares. Next, please. So what type of testing you will be doing? Well, as a normal graduate from computer science, it's really hard to know what to go for, because if you are doing undergrad for computer science, you will be learning so many different things and you have so many different ways to go, but you will not going to be mastered in anything. Here in NBCC, we are offering the quality assurance program that will make you to go in one way, and it will focus on testing part. So you will be learning manual testing, automation testing, and you will be knowing A to G about testing, how to do the work. So you will be ready for the industry as soon as you are graduating from the NBCC. In type of testing, we will be doing a lot of different testing. Unit testing mostly done by the developers, because that's the unit wise testing. But other than that, every type of test will be done by the testers. As a tester, you will also sometimes do the, if you are doing test automation side, then you will be working in a collaboration with the developers to write scripts to do the automation testing. Otherwise, you will be doing manual testings. In manual testing, you're going to do release test, static testing, dynamic testing, integration testing, functional, non-functional, user acceptance, and system testing. So while you are looking into the quality assurance, it's not one kind of testing that you need to be done. Next, please. How successful are our graduates? Well, we have quality assurance program every year, and as soon as the student graduates, I have keep an tab on all my students, previous ones, and around 90% got some job as soon as they completed. One other thing that is very interesting in here is, as a NBCC QA analyst, what you will learn is you are going to learn the program in here. Then you will have 6 to 8 weeks job placement, what we are calling OJT, on job training. You will be going to a company and you will be working for them for between 6 to 8 weeks. And sometime what happens, that takes you to the success, because sometime they get offer from the permanent job from those companies before they finish their job placement. So that's how a lot of students get to secure their first job offering after they complete their studies. Next, please. So what courses we will be learning? Well, quality assurance program is a 1-year course, but it has a lot of courses in it, a 1-year program. On fall term, you can see there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 courses that you're gonna go over. Some of them are only a couple of weeks, or even there is orientation of community service, that's a couple of hours. So those are smaller. Still, we have 7 or 8 courses that gonna be a little bit longer. So you will be put to the test when you are going to the quality assurance. You will be learning on time management. You will be learning how to finish up everything within given time, because as a last line of defense for any project, you guys will get very small amount of time to check up and do all your work. Sometimes even that gets cut shorted. So we will be learning while we are studying to manage our times. And first term, we'll be learning introduction to PC hardware software, technical writing, introduction to SQL, fundamental of web design, strategies for seeking employment, orientation to community service, introduction to programming. We did introduction to programming until now with Java, but from the next term, we are gonna go with C# to align ourselves with all other different programs. Work safely, test planning and design, text execution, and quality assurance process. These all will be in the fall term. In winter term, we'll be going for intermediate SQL. So SQL, you need one book, which will cover both first fall term and winter term. Then we'll go with the OOP, object-oriented programming, which is just the intermediate C#. We are gonna go over with the same book. Just on the first term, we are gonna just go through the introduction part, and in winter term, we're gonna take it further. Then we'll do test automation and automated testing framework. Those two will be one course, just in 2 different time. And then we have functional testing, non-functional testing. That will cover up our winter term. And in the spring term, you will be going for practicum for 6 to 8 weeks. So that covers the quality assurance part. I will give it back to next person. I think, Angela, you are
That's me,
taking.
Jason.
Oh, Jason. Thanks, Jason.
Okay, guys. So I'm just gonna kind of wrap it up here. Got a few slides to go over. My name is Jason Brown. Coordinating instructor at the Woodstock and St. Andrews campuses. So if you are in Woodstock or St. Andrews, I would be your point of contact if you have any further questions, I guess, regarding this. So how much is college? So tuition for domestic would be $3,380. I believe that's paid twice over the semester, if I'm correct. If somebody knows 100%, you can let me know. Books and materials anywhere between $800 to $2,800, depending on the course you're taking. You can also have health and dental, which would be $265. I'm not sure if that is monthly. I wouldn't assume it would be monthly. I would assume that would be over the year. Your technology learning fee and resource fee, which is $306, and then the student council fee. So those are just a few fees that you will for sure have to pay. I think health and dental would be optional though. So that would be up to you if you want to take that on. Next slide is, so what to do next now that you've kind of heard everybody's story, what everybody has to offer here. You can basically take these three options. So you could apply now if you haven't already, if one of these courses interests you, and hopefully get into one of these courses. You can reach out also with one of the instructors if you'd like to have a meeting or maybe just a conversation back and forth. And then you can also book a one-on-one meeting with a recruitment advisor. I think we can probably or will be posting some of these things in the chat maybe, or they already have been. And the last one is call or visit online for more information. So if there are any questions, we're going to kind of open that up now. If you guys have any specific questions about the specific courses or just general questions, you guys can feel free. I think, are we all ready to take questions now?
Yep, for sure, Jason.
I think we are.
Okay. So you guys, I'm not sure if you can use your mics or not, or if you just want to go in the chat. But if you want to just put your hand up, I'm not sure if you guys are able to shut your mics, turn your mics on. I don't think you are able to. So it would just be questions in the chat.
There's some content missing on that slide. If you just hit next.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'll do this. Let's go back. So do you have a question about books, laptops, first day of classes, or anything else? I think, is that all the information? There we go. You can call or visit online for more information. Here's the number. All this information that we've talked about too, you can find on nbcc.ca. If you need to, find any of that information with those links as well. And then after that, I guess we can open up questions now. Aside from that, though, everybody have a great summer, and we'll see you in the fall.
I've seen a couple of people asking how much time is going to be online versus in the classroom.
So I'll try to answer that, and anybody else who has other opinions can also. As from what I know, I think we're looking in the fall to be probably maybe again, this is going to be depending on the course, depending on the classes, everything. It could be as little as maybe 2 to 3 days. It could be 5 days a week. It's hard to say. I think end goal, we're definitely trying to get students in for labs and testing, where we can do lectures remotely for the most part.
Is there a laptop purchase program that makes laptops less expensive for students in the St. John area?
Is anybody aware of one in St. John? I'm not. I believe most students just tend to buy, online.
Yeah,
Fraser,
and I wouldn't wait till you get here to buy one. You're going to be fighting every other student in St. John to try to get a laptop. We are not that big of a city, so you may end up spending time waiting for a laptop, and you'll get behind in your lessons, and it just won't be a good.
Yeah, you definitely want to have all that hardware ready with you when you come your first day, or for your first days of classes, because you can fall behind pretty quickly.
Yeah, because I know in cybersecurity we typically teach that first day.
Yeah.
So if you don't have your laptop or you don't have your books, same thing is you have to have those books, you have to have all those resources. It's not a maybe I'll get them when they get here. It's you should have them before you show up.
Yeah, we have students that sometimes fall behind right off the bat just because they don't have their gear ready or books ready. So again, with that same question in Woodstock, we're in the same boat. We're actually even, well, substantially smaller than St. John. So basically, your best bet is to either purchase one online before. That would be my suggestion. Would be try to purchase one online before you ever get here. Yep.
What is the schedule? What is the daily schedule? When does it normally start and end? And I don't know if this has been solidified now that we're going back to the classroom.
Again, I think that's going to depend on the day and on the courses you have that day, but generally 8:30 to 4:30 is the normal time that we've had in the past.
Will there be a tour of the campus leading up to the first day, or is that just the one that we give on the first day?
I know in the past we have done tours for students a couple days previous to classes starting. I'm not sure with the the pandemic that's been going on if we've done that this year. I don't believe so. So it's possible there could it's kind of still depending and what things look like in the fall when you guys come here. So it's some things are still kind of up in the air as far as I'm aware of.
Where and when can we find out which textbooks we need, and when can we access the software to install on our laptops that we'll need for that first day of class?
Anybody else? Again, you'll get a book list generally a short time before you start. And there's one online. And again, it's going to be possibly changing between now and then. And software, again, that will be something, generally speaking, that we'll set up with you probably on that first day or one of the first days. It's kind of what we do in Woodstock, I guess. I'm not sure how the others do it, but that's generally what we do.
Typically the first day here is get your software, everything gets installed, because we don't sign you up for any of the software that you can have access to until you actually get here, right? Because we were going to be giving you access to certain free libraries, like certain Microsoft products and stuff like that, where you're going to need your own keys and things. As for books for cybersecurity, they are set in stone. We will not be using any others. So whatever's out there for the list is out there for the list. We do use the O'Reilly ebooks, and I do believe we still have that access next year as well.
Well, on the QA side, we will not only use the C# and SQL. There is also, you are going to learn web designing. That will be done with the HTML and CSS. The library books are mostly online ones. So as for example, on the QA side, we are gonna use the books for SQL and for the C#. However, we will be providing the PowerPoint slides, and book is not, I'm gonna say mandatory, but if you have the book, you will have more information to check on. You can also check it out from other resources. If you find the same topics in different online location, you can use anything to learn on the topic.
As far as textbooks go too, I'd add that you can often find second-year students that have finished the program selling their used textbooks. If you don't mind buying a used textbook, you can sometimes get a really good deal. The students typically start to post those things online, things like Craigslist, Kijiji, Facebook, things like that. They tend to start posting them as it gets closer to September, but students do often sell their used books.
So the question is there a common knowledge point for network security? If somebody is new to IT, should they brush up on anything in particular to ensure that they don't fall behind? Oh, and then the answer is below. From Fraser saying getting familiar with Linux and basic Windows administration is a great start. And Cisco Academy has free courses as well as Microsoft themselves. The class size really varies, and this year, who knows how we're going to be doing the classes. Like,
Yeah,
we're just
the
post-COVID.
in-class stuff. Yeah, in-class
Mm.
stuff we don't know. Some classes, I know in the cybersecurity side, we would be combining both of the cohorts, so it may be up to 40 students in one of the classes. But typically, we run what's called a cohort, which means that that's just a class of students, and those classes in cybersecurity are 20 students each, so we have 2 of them. IT admin, I think, is 24. I think students or somewhere in around there, something like that. But like AJ said, it's going to really depend in the classroom on the situation that we have to live in for COVID. So that may change a bit.
In QA, we had a class size of 30, but because of the COVID, now we'll be spacing them out. So I just got information from our CI that we will be offering a blended study. And what does that mean is the student can join to the class in class or by online. And we will be having around 50-50 online classes and 50% time in class presentations.
I just want to share. I'm a communications instructor a lot of the time, so I'm just going to share about how great it is to be in the classroom and to have the support of your peers and of your instructors, and to be able to go up to them and say, hey, I didn't really get what you were saying for the first 5 minutes of class. It was something to do with, and saying what it was. And then you can have that one-on-one experience. It's something I never received in a university setting. And I've been blown away by all of the instructors at NBCC since I've started here. And, you know, I've learning all the time how to be a better instructor from all of my peers. So it's really a good experience for the students. We get a lot of positive feedback. I assume that Moncton campus has similar facilities.
Yes, it does. We also have the cafeteria and a very pretty nice fine dining area.
We do too.
From the yeah. Also, like the student lounge, they have pool and video games. It's quite nice, even though I didn't get the chance to go there and sit with them.
Our libraries are great social places too, very quiet social places, but people will get together and work there as well if you have team projects.
Yep. Also, they have some silent rooms.
Yes.
They can book it for the meetings.
Yeah. That's right. So in New Brunswick, the rule is, I think, 6 feet between people. And sometimes if it's a small group of people, they'll allow them to bubble. But in New Brunswick, we're planning to have all of our second vaccines by the start of September. Knock wood. Yeah, so hopefully we will all have those vaccines by then. I also record all of my lectures in classes. But I wonder, like, when you're doing chords and things like that, when you're like doing wiring and practicing all of that, I don't know how much of that could be recorded because it's more hands-on. Any more questions? It's so quiet. They haven't been so far. Like to date, we haven't been testing students, and that would be in any of our school systems. Only people that were exhibiting a symptom or more were getting tests, and some were getting blind tests, but it was based on their own needs.
Well, we do have winter carnivals and few other things that students get participated, and that's year round.
Yeah, it really
Our
depends on the
student,
campus.
yeah, our student council is pretty active with those things.
Yeah, and it's student driven. So say you're into soccer or something, you could organize a soccer thing to go on.
And there's lots of, like, if you're into, I know there's a cricket, if you like cricket, there's a co-cricket league in St. John, right down not far from the college itself, and there's a big new soccer field down there as well that they have.
Yes, there's definitely a job fair organized.
So we've got 1 more minute. We want to get the questions in if anybody has any last minute questions, and we'll wrap this up here for 7:30.
How can they get an instructor one-on-one?
I know there are questions. Let me think here. We're getting questions through student services, I believe. Students are asking the student services questions, and then they are, I believe, passing them on to us if necessary. But generally, they're linking them up with the instructors. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that yet.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, I've gotten a few, anyways, from our student, from our administration, I guess, here in Woodstock, and that could be, I guess, just because I'm the CI, possibly. So I think if there's no questions, we're gonna wrap it up, guys.
Yeah, I think so, Jason.
Have a great summer, everyone, and hope to see you guys on next fall.